Specialist gaming retailers have had a pretty tough go of it in the past few years. The rise of digital gaming and online shopping has really put a dent in their profits and they've been struggling to compete. Game are one of the last dedicated gaming shops on the UK high street, and in order to remain relevant, they've been resorting to some questionable tactics.
Just the other day, UK retailer Game started selling beta codes for the upcoming Star Wars Battlefront II through their online store. For the low price of 10 pence, Game would sell you a code which granted early access to the Star Wars Battlefront II open beta, which is taking place this weekend. The thing is though, these codes should not have been up for sale. They were meant to be given out to customers who had pre-ordered Star Wars Battlefront 2. So Game were effectively selling pre-order codes and nobody knows how they got them in the first place. EA have yet to comment on this and Game themselves haven't said where the codes come from, which makes them look a bit bad, doesn't it?
It's not like these things can fall off the back of a lorry or something, is it? You know, these are digital codes. Like, where the hell did they get them from? Are the people pre-purchasing the game now accessing codes which are because they've been ripped off by Game? Are the people being left out because Game's ripped them off? Whilst it's not illegal to sell beta codes, it's certainly in a grey area, and game companies usually frown upon the practice. Honestly, it's not dissimilar to buying a Steam key from G2A. It's not illegal, but more often than not, it's probably bought using stolen credit card info or bought from an area where games are cheaper. People quickly caught on to Game's scheme, and people started writing articles about it and sharing the news all over social media. However, a spokesperson for Game said it was a mistake, and the sale of the beta codes was not intended. It was a false listing meant for pre-order customers. It was apparently a broken link.
The spokesperson said, "For a short time this morning, a beta code was shown on our website through a broken link today, priced at 10p. This link has subsequently been fixed. We apologise for any confusion caused. Early access game through the beta code is exclusively available for free for customers that pre-order the game. However, we will honour the purchase for those customers that did buy the code only via the broken link." So they are the real heroes in all this. Thank you, Game, for your service. This just is bad, isn't it? I mean, where do they get the codes from is the big question. What the hell were they thinking, like having a web page that listed it for 10 pence? Where did the 10 pence come from if it was a broken link?
Bullshit though, it smells like bullshit to me, Mag. How can it be a broken link? If it was a broken link, then surely it should have gone to a page where there wasn't a 10p barrier to access the code. It should have just been open for people, because once you've pre-purchased the game, right, they don't ask you for another 10p before you get the code. You should have access for it straight away. So to put that extra 10p barrier in there and to have to put your payment details in, that's not a broken link. That's the way of making money. That's just bullshit.
The fact that they're honouring it for customers says an awful lot as well. Like, oh, don't worry, if you bought it, we'll give you a code for 10p. So it's like,
yeah, we're going to keep your money. We're going to keep your money, basically.
The proper thing to do would be to refund it and say, sorry for the confusion. There are no beta codes that are available for you. But if you've bought, a code and you shouldn't have been able to buy a code, but you still get a code and you still lose 10p, then that is like, that's just a normal transaction, isn't it? That's just a normal purchase that Game have allowed, even though it's really, really dodgy. And as Jake rightly pointed out, the page isn't even aligned to centre.
Amateurs, man. Right. Amateurs, well, you know.
As fuck.
And the funny thing about this is that the beta opens to the public on Friday, so they've only had 2 days early access. At the rate of 5p a day is what you're paying to access it pre-beta, I guess. But what was my point? I had a fucking point. So they're trying to profit off the fact that it's released in 2 days. How do we make some extra money? I know, we can sell these codes for 10p. Why not a quid? £1, just make it worth your while, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually had some kind of generator or something. If EA had said, here you go, you use this if you want, just make as many codes as you want for everyone who pre-orders the game, rather than EA giving them a stack of codes. They'd give them something that just kept producing codes for them that actually worked. It's probably something like that. And then, maybe they've just kind of oversold that a little bit, thought they could get away with shifting a few more of those codes. But like you said, why 10p? Like, what the fuck? But this isn't even the first bad thing that Game's done recently. Game are in kind of dire straits as a business. They've been saved a couple of times from actual collapse because of, like we said in the voiceover, Amazon, competitive nature of online gaming these days. Like, everything is so cheap and there's a huge price war going on, and all these elements that are working against game, they're in trouble. This is just like the latest thing. Errors in judgment that they made recently was when Hurricane Irma happened, the tragic, deadly Hurricane Irma, and they kind of used that to advertise their crazy tech deals. So they're just kind of scraping the barrel in some ways, aren't they? So it's dire straits for them, and this kind of thing is no surprise.
It's a shame, because I wouldn't like to see Game as a physical retailer go bust, because there's nothing better than going to the high street and like having to browse through all the games. Like, what can I buy? They're all here physically. You know, it's a nice expse, but
there's jobs, of course.
Yeah,
there's thousands employed by Game.
Yeah, that too. I mean, obviously that's important for some people. Jokes aside, I think it's being the last retailer in the UK. It would be a big shame for it to close. So
just stop doing shit like this.
Just stop being shady, guys. Honestly. Are you going to do that, Joe?
Oh,
so what's your theory on this? Was it a mistake? Was it deliberate? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. There's another video for you to watch right now on your screen there. Support us on Patreon if you're awesome. And we'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.
A lot of the magic's in the editing.
That's rad.